Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my channel. Some good news, finally. Mortgage lenders have been cutting rates this week. It's based off the back of the inflation data, the fact that we finally hit that 2% target. Now, even though the Bank of England didn't drop rates and swap rates, which is where they borrow money from, didn't really move much, banks are cutting rates. So I'm going to talk about 3 different lenders in this video that you can go and look at that have cut rates. One of them's a really major lender that already had some of the best deals in the market. So this is positive news. Part of this is down to the fact that they perceive rates are going to drop in the near future or at some point this year. But also the mortgage market is quieter at the moment. There are less transactions going through again. This happened last year. So at the end of last year, October, November, December, the market was really quiet. In fact, 2023 was not a busy year at all. So when it came to January, lenders started to get competitive. They started to fight over our business because lots of people weren't moving, so less transactions were happening, and that meant their revenues weren't as good as they could have been. So that may be what's happening. Again, time will tell, but let's look at 3 lenders that are cutting rates. Before we jump into that, as always, if you haven't done, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We're a real close, so close to 25,000 subscribers now. We could hit it any day, even over the weekend. So do subscribe if you didn't do already, and do smash like, tick or like, do something to that like button. Do that right now. That massively helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Can't even say it, algorithm. I'll be honest, and it means you're an all-round great person. That's what we want to see, right? So what is going on? Well, the big lender, let's get to them first, because that's what you want to know, right, is NatWest. And NatWest, if you follow along on this channel, every week or so, I do an update on mortgage rates, like what are the best rates in the market. So we have a look at HMO rates, which is house of multiple occupancy. We look at buy-to-let rates in a company and in your personal name. We look at remortgage with a big deposit, with a small deposit. And NatWest always comes out pretty good. So if NatWest are cutting rates when they're already one of the best in the market, that means that there are some good deals to be had out there. So NatWest have cut their rates and it's down to the 2% inflation. So that's really what they talked about in their statement, that we're pretty much on target now, and they feel that the year will do quite well. So they've got a 5-year deal here, which is pretty good. So the 5-year deal is at 4.41%, which is a cut. It's not a massive cut, but every cut counts. So it's 0.17% down. Now, invariably, the comments will always be on this one. I tried to apply to NatWest and I couldn't get a mortgage. They weren't offering these at the moment. And sometimes that's happening. So sometimes when you contact NatWest directly, they just don't have deals open for a period of time, or maybe it's not available to buy to let. So what you need to do to get this deal is go through a broker. I always go through a broker, even if I know NatWest has got the deal that I want. I'll go through my broker because they always just iron out problems. There's always something that comes up where they say, for example, the ID doesn't match, or can you prove this and prove that and do this and do that. And so the broker always just pushes the deal through. And that's why I think they're worth their weight in gold. It's not that expensive. It costs me about £500 a deal. And if you're borrowing hundreds of thousands of pounds, you just want it done. So I always use a broker, and that's how you can get that deal if you can't find it. Next, another big lender. Now, these guys haven't given what their rates are going to be, but they've told us how much they're cutting, right? So that's important. So go and check out these guys. Co-op, a big lender, 0.22% down. They've shown up in some of our weekly videos as well as being a lender to go and really understand, are they right for you? Can you borrow from them? Do you fit their criteria? They're a pretty good lender. So I would definitely go and have a look at the cooperative bank and see if you can get a deal with them. Again, probably best to go through a broker. Next, this lender, I have never heard of these guys before. Maybe you have. Maybe people in that area have, and that's Nottingham Building Society. And so Nottingham Building Society, they've cut more off. Again, this is another lender that isn't specifically saying like we've got a 4.41, so you're going to have to go and have a look. But what this does do is it just gives us somewhere to start the process when we're looking for remortgages and stuff like that. So their rate is 0.24. All of these rates are effective from today, right? So Friday, the 20th of June. All of these rates are available right now, which is good. So where does this mean the market's going to end up? What do we think might happen? Well, often this is a good sign, especially when you see one or two lenders that have cut rates. Now, I'll be honest, why do I think these guys did? With my marketing head on, because that's my background is marketing. I believe that NatWest, they cut just before the Bank of England meeting. These two cut just after. And that's because they wanted to get swooped up in that news cycle. So The Sun, the Daily Mail, Financial Times, all of these places that were talking about the Bank of England base rate being held, a lot of these featured these lenders as people that cut rates off the back of inflation hitting the 2% target. So they got free advertising. But now that this has happened, what we hopefully will see is some more, because sometimes you just get one lender will drop rates and doesn't really mean much to the market. The fact that we got three here is good. And that's what we want, is these guys to start thinking, you know what, rates are inevitably going to come down. So because these deals, when they're doing the deals now, won't complete for 3 or 4 months anyway. If you went to NatWest right now and said, hey, I'll take that deal from you, you're not going to complete that deal for 3 or 4 months anyway. And so potentially rates could be even cheaper by that time. And if they do drop in that time, you've got the option to swap on to the lower rates. So my opinion is that I don't think you're going to see a big price war, but I do think that you might see some lenders over the next few weeks, as we go into the summer period, dropping rates by like 0.1%, 0.2%, nothing major, 0.25% maximum. I don't think anyone's going to go for any big half-point drops at this point in time. I think a lot of them just want to wait, see what happens, make sure the June inflation data that we're going to get in July is another drop as we're expecting. We've also got the energy price cap goes down again next month. That's going to mean future inflation data hopefully will go down as well. So they want to see what happens. They want to see what happens with transaction volume as well. But this is a good start. I think it's positive. Have you seen any other lenders that we should be looking at? Because I don't have the time or resources to look at everything. And your comments do often help me go off in the right direction to do the research and find you guys good deals and bring those to you. So do comment below if you feel I've missed any. Do smash like, guys. That helps with YouTube. Let's get the message out on this one. Comment even if it's just to say hi. Do subscribe. Check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.